Hey guys, and welcome back. So, have you ever been in an argument and you're going back and forth with someone, and before you know it, y'all are arguing about something that has nothing to do with what the initial conflict was? Or you're fussing about something that happened months or even years ago, and you like, how did we even get here? And that leads to even more frustration. Most often than not, it's not a communication problem, it's an accountability problem. Most of us know the word, we know how to define it, but we have a hard time showing it. But hopefully, we're gonna learn today. So I've titled this one, Sorry Ain't Enough. Is accountability in the room with us? I am Anastasia, a licensed Christian counselor, and this is Soul Sanity Podcast. Thank y'all again for tuning in. So today we're going to talk about what accountability actually looks like. Okay? Why it's so difficult for so many people. The biggest signs to show if someone lacks accountability, and how to have conflict or disagreement with someone that leads to healing instead of more hurt. But before we get started, let's define accountability. So Webster defines accountability like this: an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or account for one's actions. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. Say, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again, and let's move on, right? If it was that easy, friendships would last forever, ever. Our divorce rate would plummet and families would always get along. But it's not that simple. It is more complex. The reality of accountability is more complex, especially when you factor in a difference in perspective about what actually happened, the level of trust between two people, shame that's attached to being wrong, right? The victim mentality. So all of these can hinder accountability. And accountability is the first step to forgiveness, healing, and ultimate resolution. Okay? So we don't see the word accountability in the Bible, right? It doesn't say this is what accountability is, like the word accountability. But accountability is all throughout the Bible. And there is a scripture that sounds a lot like accountability to me. So in Proverbs 28:13, it says, whoever conceals their sins does not prosper, but the one who confesses and renounces them finds mercy. Notice it says, it doesn't just say confess, it says confess and turn away. That's accountability. Confessing what you did wrong, deciding on ways that you're going to make amends, and making sure as you move forward that you try your hardest not to hurt someone else, okay? That's accountability. So here are the signs of someone that lacks accountability, okay? Sign number one, displace blame. This is someone that blames everything and everyone else for the issues that they have or for the pain that they have inflicted on others, okay? They may say, oh, if you hadn't done this to me, or if this hadn't happened, then I wouldn't be in this situation, or I wouldn't have done this to you, okay? So sign number two, get very defensive, even for the smallest things. And a lot of times, some people use this as a tactic to prevent you from bringing up any of your concerns in the future. All right. Sign number 3, they flip the issue and play the victim. Okay. You come to them with a concern that you have. You may even be emotional. They will cry. Some of them will cry with you, literally, and say, no matter what I do, it is never enough for you. I'm tired of being criticized. And then now, instead of you being able to take ownership of your emotions and work through those, now you're trying to console them. Okay? Sign number 4, a lack of empathy for others. So this person may offend you, all right? And they will minimize your emotions as if it's not a big deal. But as soon as you pull a dim on them, it's World War III. It's the end of the world. Okay? Sign number 5, they continue to repeat the same behavior after they've promised that they're going to change. All right? And sign number 6, when they do something egregious, they expect you to forgive them quickly. They may even say, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to keep proving to you that I'm not going to offend you again, when they haven't even made significant changes. They will blame you for not trusting them, even though they committed the egregious act. All right? Now, there are some people who are not self-aware that they have a lack of accountability issue, okay? Because of certain bad habits and toxic relationships. So they get in this cycle of not being able to take responsibility for their actions. But there are some people who are very conscious of those behaviors, and they use these behaviors for manipulation and control. You have to use your discernment to be able to decipher between the two, okay? So intentionality is key, and I've been here before. And it's not until sometimes you have to step away to realize how bad you've been mistreated. All right, so let's dive deeper and look at how differing perspectives, shame, pride, and victim mentality can further hinder accountability. All right, so let's start with perspective. Okay, so when it comes to perspective, you can enter into a conflict with someone who has a different view about what happened, about who was wrong, and that is okay. Okay, if you trust this person, if this is not something that happens often, it's okay to accept that they have a different view about what happened, as long as they're not flat out lying. Now, let's put that in there, okay? But as long as this is someone who you feel safe with and you know that this is not their normal behavior, it's okay to accept that that is their reality. Now, that doesn't take away from your perspective, but it's okay to offer grace in these moments. It's okay for both of you to realize how you have offended or harmed the other person and apologize, accept responsibility, and move forward. If you care about someone, there is nothing wrong with saying, I'm sorry that I hurt you. That was not my intentions. And moving forward, I'm going to make sure and be specific. I am going to make sure that I do A, B, and C to make sure that this doesn't happen again. That is okay. So let's talk about pride. So pride hinders accountability because nobody wants to admit that they're wrong. It's like if I say that I'm wrong or if I let down my guard, then I'm going to lose ground in this relationship, or I'm going to lose face or control. Okay? It's kind of like when parents have a hard time admitting to their kids they're wrong and apologizing for it. It's childish. You cannot have an adult, mature relationship if you're not willing to let down your guard and admit when you're wrong and apologize. Emotionally mature men and women don't have a problem with saying they're sorry because they know who they are. It takes nothing away from them. It is emotionally immature men and women that suffer in this area. Vulnerability is strength. Okay, pride isn't. Pride more than often is fear disguised as confidence. Okay, and I have Bible for it. All right. So James 4:6 says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Okay. Humility opens the door for healing. It's pride that keeps it locked. So let's talk about how a lack of trust can be a big hindrance to accountability. So people can bring trust issues into a relationship, or they can develop them while in the relationship. Okay. And if they don't feel emotionally safe, it may be hard for them to admit when they're wrong. Safety can sometimes be, emotional safety can sometimes be a prerequisite for accountability. Okay. For example, have you ever been in an argument with someone? Now, both of y'all wrong. Okay. Say in this argument, both of y'all are wrong. All right. But you're the first one to say you're wrong. You admit it. And then you apologize. And then before you know it, the person that you're in disagreement with, they also admit that they're wrong. And they apologize for the mistakes that they made. What you did was create a space where accountability could develop. Okay. And you can lead, y'all can lead towards resolution. All right. Now here's a caveat. That doesn't mean that you go around apologizing for everything and things that you haven't done. That can lead to emotional abuse, okay? And emotional abuse is also a hindrance to accountability, okay? So you might come into a relationship with it, or you may develop those while in a relationship. And a lot of times, those people who come into the relationship with trust issues, admitting their mistakes may be hard for them to do, especially if they were weaponized against them in the past. If someone used their mistakes to humiliate them or mock them, they may have a hard time saying they're sorry or admitting when they're wrong, okay? And so those people who may struggle in that area, you may need more time to heal that area, okay, before jumping into another relationship, to heal that pain so you can develop a healthy level of trust in your new relationships, okay? So let's talk about shame, okay? So shame goes a little deeper, all right? And this can hinder accountability because it goes beyond the relationship and the current conflict, all right? If you have someone that grew up in a home where they were highly criticized, as they were punished verbally and physically for their mistakes, then they are more likely to develop shame around admitting when they're wrong, okay? Because to commit an offense or to admit wrong is not just saying I did something wrong, but they believe that there is something fundamentally wrong with me. Guilt says, I did something bad. Shame says I am bad. Shame attacks their identity. And this is why I love what it says in Romans 8:1. Therefore, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. Shame is tough in a relationship, okay? And therapy may be needed in order to reprogram that mindset and to improve self-esteem and self-worth, okay? Now, here's another caveat. Just because you have a better understanding of why someone is the way that they are doesn't mean that you open the door for someone to treat you badly. It's no excuse for bad behavior, okay? That's why your boundaries are non-negotiable. God ordained love, grace, dust, and war, okay? Choose wisely. So the victim mentality, how victim mentality hinders accountability. Now, I don't know why this one agitates me the most, okay? Probably because people overuse it. You know, being the victim gives them sympathy and attention, and they want that sympathy and attention. All right. Some people don't have self-awareness, so they are unaware that they're stuck in a cycle of victim mentality. Okay. And the tricky part about this, they may even say they're sorry. Okay. But every sorry doesn't equate to I take full responsibility for my actions. Sometimes sorry is just that. It's just a sorry. All right. But deep down, they are harboring resentment and they're thinking to themselves, you're the problem. If you hadn't done what you did to me first, then I wouldn't have did what I did. And every time I do something, everybody got something to say. But when it's done to me, nobody got anything to say. All right. So those are the thoughts that people who suffer with victim mentality, that's their thoughts. That if you hadn't done what you did, this would not even be the case. Something is wrong with you. It's always someone else's fault. Okay. And let me tell y'all a tale. Okay. So there were 3 husbands, all right, and 3 wives. And so their wives, the husbands' wives, were all doing them dirty. They were doing their husbands dirty. They were staying out all hours of the night, not coming home. And the husband suspected that these 3 wives were stepping out and having affairs, okay? And the husbands were correct. Now, we all agree that the wives were some scandalous wives. They're scandalous. They did their husbands wrong. Okay? So what happened was the husbands made a decision. Husband number 1, he played get back. He went ahead and cheated on his wife and had his own affair. He said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. All right. Now we have husband number 2. He decided to file for the divorce and leave his wife. He said, fool me once, I'm gone. You don't get another chance to play with me. All right. Husband number 3, he stayed faithful. Oh, faithful man of God. And he stood behind his woman. He did not make any emotional decisions. He took his vows very seriously. And that's okay. But my question is, why didn't they all react the same way? Why didn't all the husbands choose to cheat? Because ultimately, we are responsible for the decisions that we make. We are responsible for our actions. Yes, other people can influence them, but the ultimate decision in our action is our responsibility. James 1:14 says, "But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desire and enticed." So the choices you make in your reaction to what someone else did comes from the desires of your own heart. If you have a heart full of pettiness and vengefulness, whenever you're under stress, you're going to behave petty and with vengeance. If you have a heart full of optimistic and you're tempered, you have a calm temperance, then that is how you're going to behave in pressure. You won't all of a sudden become irrational whenever your back is up against the wall, okay? So if someone isn't able to see their actions objectively, but only as cause and effect, they're going to have a hard time accepting responsibility for their actions, okay? And they're going to have a hard time changing their behavior, because the first thing that has to take place is that you have to see your actions. If they harm someone else, you have to see them as an issue apart, not only because of what someone else did, but apart from someone else's actions, okay? The do's and don'ts of accountability, all right? What it looks like and what it don't look like, all right? So number one, start with an apology. I apologize, or I am sorry for ... Be specific. And pause right there. Pause. Don't add any excuses, and don't justify why you did what you did, and don't point the blame at someone else. All right? Now, two, it's okay to share your rationality behind how the offense happened, but not in a way to justify, in a way that shows or leans to context of how you got there, so that that person may have a better understanding. And this in a way that leads to more trust and intimacy in a relationship. Vulnerability is okay, but not in a way that excuses the behavior. Number three, share with the person how you're going to make changes to rebuild trust in the future. Be very specific, okay? How would it look from day to day, week to week, if it needs to be year to year? This is what I'm going to do so that I may rebuild the trust that was lost due to my actions, all right? Number four, ask them, is there anything else I need to understand about what happened? It takes the focus off of you justifying your actions and focus more on what that person needs in the moment, or what they need to move forward in that relationship. Number five, if they don't accept your apology, it is okay. They may just need time to process, and you want to allow them their time. There's no need to beg and keep begging, okay? There's no need to do that, especially if your apology is sincere. And even if your apology isn't sincere, don't beg. Okay? The next one. We're going to make mistakes. Well, this is not the next one. This is just me sharing. We're going to make mistakes. All right. Growing up is knowing that we're going to hurt people. If you're in a relationship, it's likely that you will be hurt. Every day we struggle to keep our promises to God. Every day we struggle to not consciously or unconsciously commit sins against God. So it is likely that someone may offend you, but it's about your intentions. Where are your intentions? Are you actively trying to treat people right? Okay? Where's your heart? Because what you do to others, you will reap in return. Because there's one thing about those tables, they're always turning. Okay? So treat people right. So in closing, accountability is the foundation to growth and change. Accountability isn't about humiliation. It's about freedom. Every healthy relationship requires accountability, whether it's with your spouse, your children, your friends, your co-workers, or even your relationship with God requires accountability. And humility begins when we stop asking who's to blame and start asking, what's my responsibility? Remember, accountability isn't punishment. It's the pathway to growth. It's the pathway to healing. It's the pathway to trust. And if we want healthy relationships, we have to become healthier people. Okay? So that's all I have for y'all today. Thanks again for tuning in. Go ahead, like, comment, share, and subscribe. May God cover and keep you. And until next time, bye-bye.